Jimbo 203 back at you with another one. Well, New York City has had an explosion of violence at the Fourth of July weekend. 41 shot overnight in NYC with at least four dead in a citywide explosion of gun violence. New York City turned into the Wild West as a series of shootings claimed four lives and injuring 37 others erupted amid 4th of July celebrations. The shocking wave of violence came as the city was reeling from ongoing anti-police brutality protests, weeks of lockdown orders prompted by the coronavirus outbreak, and soaring summer temperatures adding to the chaotic atmosphere. Illegal fireworks exploded in all five boroughs throughout the night. In the first fatal shooting of the night, Jose Cepeda, a young father, was blasted in the chest a little after midnight Sunday in East New York, Brooklyn. Cepeda, 20, and a friend had a little disagreement in front of the victim's home on Atkins Ave near Pitkin Ave that turned deadly, neighbor Natasha Ramsey told the Daily News. The first one shot got him dead. It's so sad. Medics rushed Cepeda to Brookdale University Hospital, but he couldn't be saved. That was just the first in a series of horrifying incidents that cop unions blamed on Mayor Bill de Blasio and Council Speaker Corey Johnson, who last week passed an annual budget that shifted about $1 billion away from the NYPD, a move aimed at meeting activist demands for police reform. Criminals with guns fear no consequences, the Police Benevolent Association tweeted Sunday, adding that the mayor, speaker, and all electeds owe their constituents an explanation. The health and safety of New Yorkers is our top priority, which is why we are drilling down on problem spots with the NYPD, a City Hall spokesman said in a statement. Johnson's office did not immediately answer a request for comment. In Harlem, a 23-year-old was fatally shot on West 116th Street near Morningside Park around 2:40 a.m. Police were notified of the shooting after the victim checked himself into a hospital and died minutes later, sources said. A 19-year-old was fatally shot in the chest, and a 27-year-old man was blasted in the left shoulder around 4:20 a.m. after a large dispute erupted on East 39th Street near Avenue D in East Flatbush, Brooklyn, sources said. Both victims were rushed to Kings County Hospital, but the teenager couldn't be saved. The older man was in stable condition, police said. Just 40 minutes later, a 40-year-old man was fatally shot in the chest on Sutter Ave near Mother Gaston Boulevard outside the Hughes houses in Brownsville, Brooklyn, police said. The victim was rushed to Brookdale University Hospital where he died, they added, just half a mile away from the night's first fatal shooting. A 22-year-old man and 23-year-old woman were shot on Euclid Ave near Sutter Ave. Police said the man was shot in the chest and the woman was wounded in the right leg. Around 2:30 a.m., both victims were taken to Brookdale University Hospital and were expected to survive. In Harlem, a 26-year-old man was clinging to life after six people were wounded in a shootout that erupted at a party on 131st Street and Lenox Ave just before 1 a.m., police said. Medics rushed four of the victims to Harlem Hospital, while two of the victims walked into a hospital later in the evening with gunshot wounds, according to authorities. There are no arrests in any of the incidents, and investigations are ongoing. The violence came as the city has been on edge following weeks of protests sparked by the May 25th death of black Minneapolis man George Floyd at the hands of a white police officer. The shooters were taking advantage of an ongoing atmosphere of crisis, said Councilman Donovan Richards, who chairs the city's council's Public Safety Committee. The people exploiting this moment are sensing the division on the ground, and they're totally taking advantage of the streets without a doubt, the Queen's Dem told the news. They sense division, and therefore they understand they can take out their retribution on each other in ways they weren't doing years ago, because there was much more unity between the department and what was going on the ground, he added. Also, that's the end of that story, but also I was reading that a police cruiser was shot right through the windshield while two officers were in it. It missed both officers, luckily. Also, two cops were burnt when somebody walked up and threw a firework that exploded inside of their car. And they had extensive burns and had to be taken to the hospital. But God bless all the victims. Rest in peace to all who passed. My condolences to the families and friends. We gotta do better. Jimbo 203. Like, comment, subscribe. I pray for peace, unity, and we all must come together at this time and do better. We have to do better. Peace, guys.